Hi YouTube, this is Edgar from Team Infinite Horizon. I know we haven't been posting in a while, but we're just getting back into the game again. And we've been playing for the last couple weeks, and this is my deck for the format. And let me just get right into it. So for our grade 0, I run, bear with me, I don't know all the names, okay? So the Shiny Knight, at Generation Break 1 you could counter blast it, put it in Soul, and search a grade 2 and call it out to a rear guard. At the moment, he's the best. Well, other than the Seeker one, I think it's the only good grade 0 starter. It's not too bad. I know it's counterblast heavy, but it's a real counterblast heavy deck. But it's not too bad with all the damage and flipping that's going on around right now. The deck could use it, and plus the deck has really good grade 2s. So moving on, we have a total of 8 criticals, just to put on pressure, especially with all your stride units and your Thing Savior. You want to apply as much pressure as possible. You have Margot for consistency, and then you can also put it into the Soul and give a unit plus 3,000, which gives you also fuel for your Thing Savior. Sorry, and then of course your 4 heals. We have our Holy Knight. She is our perfect guard for the deck. The only new thing about it is that if you have a copy of her in your drop zone, you get to unflip a damage, which is really cool because you get to keep using your abilities throughout the game. But the only thing, this is only specific to the Vanguard. You can only block attacks being done to your Vanguard, which isn't bad, to be honest. But so it's not really any much difference. I personally didn't use my perfect guard for my rear guards, but it's a great card. Especially this deck really needs that damage on flipping with all the counter blasting being done. Laurel Knight, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and I got the autograph one, or the signed one. It's a really cool card. Especially it's great fodder for your stride units. You could ditch it from your hand to stride, or you can call it out to a rear guard, show your opponent a grade 3, and search for an Altmile, add it to your hand, then you get to discard a card from your hand. It's a great card in my opinion. That way you don't have to get rid of your key cards that you might want to combo off later on in the game. Then I run, of course, 3 of the Leanne, just to search your deck through. Just to thin out your deck, try to get to your combo pieces as quickly as possible. Try to get either your Altmile or your Thing Savior, or any of your grade 2s, which again I need to mention they're awesome in this build. I was trying to find another unit to put into the build, but to be honest, I didn't find any good units. I'm trying to make this a seeker build, or a mixture with seekers. So I decided to put in Grangle, I believe that's what it's called, into the build, just because I do run Thing Savior, and when it boosts a blaster unit, when Thing Savior is in its Legion mode, it's considered Blaster Blade at the same time. So if the attack connects, you get to flip a damage, draw a card, and then put a card at the bottom of the deck. It's awesome for drawing, replacing cards that you don't need, and it's good to flip damage. Just keep comboing off with your cards. Yeah, and that's all my grade 1s. Then moving on to my grade 2s, I have Twin Sword. This card to me is absolutely awesome. This what makes Altmile, this card, and Fragment so broken. Altmile at Generation Break 1, when it's boosted and attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1, call out a grade 2 unit out of your deck, and place it on the rear guard. There's another unit coming out in the next set that combos off really well with it, but at the moment, if you use Altmile to pump this up in another unit by 5,000, the roll's gonna be swinging really well. Now, when you combo off this, you bring out your Knight of Fragment, which your Knight of Fragment at Generation Break 1, when it swings to Vanguard, it gains a plus 2,000, and if the attack connects, you get to Soul Charge 1 and unflip damage. So you get to keep calling out units, or your grade 2 units, and if you're not careful in how you play, you will run out of grade 2s. This happened to me before. But It's a really awesome card. Once the other grade 2 unit that's coming out, I'll be dropping a twin sword and one of my Blaster Blade Seekers. Now, I run Blaster Blade Seekers only for the fact that I run Think Savior, sorry. But other than that, the card really doesn't do anything unless your Vanguard is in Legion mode. For the most part, it's just a vanilla. And until their new grade 2 unit comes out, I'll be running it at 4. Once the grade 2 comes out, I'll probably be dropping this to 3, and then dropping the twin sword to 3 and putting in 2 of those other units. It's amazing how this deck just rushes, and by the time that your opponent has a time to respond, they already ate up a good portion of their hand. And then going into the grade 3s, around 4 Altmile. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the card, but the card is really broken. This is going to be your primary Vanguard. You're going to sit on him, stride, and stride again until you are able to bring out your Think Savior and crush your opponent. But Altmile has an amazing ability. Once you're at Generation Break 2, anything in your front, this is just by himself. When you're at Generation Break 2, anything on your front row gains of plus 5,000. So you could swing with your twin sword. He's swinging for 14 on his own with no boost. With the boost, he's gonna be swinging for 21. You swing with 21. If you have an open column, or if you have a full column, is gonna be even more better. So whatever you call out of the deck with that is gonna get a plus 5,000 as well, which is really great. Now, when you stride over this card, you get to Counterblast 1. You can call up to 2 units from your hand, and you could choose up to 2 units on the board and give them plus 5,000. And it doesn't have to be those cards that you call out. So that's what makes this card really, really good. Again, I don't like it just because it seems very, very slow, but the push that it makes is amazing. And to be honest, you only run one. You get to the one, ride it, and you're only going to sit on that one until you get your Think Savior. But you're going to make big pushes with this card. Now you move on to your next grade 3, which is 4 of your Think Saviors. Think Savior, to me, is just an amazing card. Any restanding Vanguard is just amazing, but I personally have a thing for Think Savior. I think it's just an amazing card. And if you play the deck just right, and the amount of pushes that this deck has, it's hard for your opponent to handle it. To be honest. Well, let me finish up with the deck, and also explain some combos that I do with the deck. I run 4 of the Gablites. Now, you could pitch up cards that add up to the grade 3. Stride this unit over your grade 3 if your opponent is at a grade 3. When this card swings, if the card connects to Vanguard, you get to call out a grade, I believe it's a grade 2. Correct, a grade 2 to a rear guard. So it helps you fill up your board, and which is amazing, which again gets you all your key grade 2s out of your deck, which are these 2. Mainly, this guy is just there for giggles, I guess, just so you can Legion. That's the great part about this deck too. Once you do all your combos, go into Savior, Legion, put triggers back into the deck, and it's hard for your opponent to deal with it. So this fills up your board, and now we're moving on to this broken card that I absolutely love, Saint Blow Dragon. I actually have 5 of them, but I don't run 5. Of course you can't. But Saint Blow Dragon. Now this unit, you can only use this card when you already have 2 G units face up on your G zone. But you stride him over, you pay his cost, which is flipping face up a copy of himself from the G zone. Then he gains plus 3,000 for every unit you have on your board. So that'd be 5 units times the 3,000, or times 3. That's 15 to his 26. So you're doing a massive damage, and that's not even counting the boost that you're doing with him. So you could be swinging for over 40,000, and on top of that, it gains a critical. So it's really hard for your opponent to deal with such a massive attack. unless they have, of course, their perfect guard. Which the way you play the deck, it's hard for your opponent to even have that perfect shield. So you're gonna do all your key plays. You're gonna bring this one out. Most of the time, they'll let this one hit so you can fill up your board. Now your next one will be your first Saint Blow Dragon. They might get by that one. I'll be surprised if they get through the second one, to be honest. And even then, if they survive the second Saint Blow Dragon, you finish them off with your Thing Savior Dragon. Your Legion, you put triggers back into your deck. You try to maintain a full board. Swing, add triggers to your rear guards, and then put in more damage. And to be honest, this deck just seems to be more complete. I'm trying to find a better build. I've seen a couple builds with Jewel Knights. To be honest, I'm not a fan of Jewel Knights. That's why I don't even mess with it. But the reason I run this deck is because of this card specifically. But the deck seems to be working really well. The only issue that deck does have, it calls out units out the butt. It's consistently there, all your grade 2s, but what it has a hard time doing is calling out grade 1s. You'll go through your grade 2s fairly easy, but your grade 1s will stay in your deck. But that's why I'm trying to experiment. Hopefully they bring out more support for that. But at the moment, the deck seems to be running really well. With Altmile, like I said, you stride over. You counterblast the one, give 2 units plus 5,000. Your row will be swinging with this one. It'll be swinging for 21. Your other row will be swinging for 21. You attack with your front unit first, swinging for 14. If it gets blocked, that's fine. You swing with your twin sword. Well, you don't even have to swing with twin sword. Then you swing with this one. Now this one connects. Replace that unit. Bring it out. Save that unit, or attack with that row. Swing with your twin sword. Any triggers that you get on this, add it in that. Use his ability, counterblast the one, and keep going from there. And it's a massive amounts of damage, and it's pretty hard to bear with, pretty hard to deal with. Sorry, but tell me what you guys think. They're getting, I believe it's 3 new cards, which helps the build a lot. They're getting another G unit, which it gives your opponent a damage. They still get to perform their damage trigger check, which is fine. But the deck becomes more complete. Then you get another critical trigger, which works with Altmile. You get to put in Soul, give a unit plus 5,000, and you go on from there. And that's more fuel for a Thing Savior. And then they also get another grade 2. Like I said, I'll be bumping this down and the Blaster Blade down. And like I said, the deck is just, to me, it's an awesome build. If you guys have any other builds that you might be testing with or having success with, please leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think. I appreciate your guys' time, and I'll be posting up a couple other decks. Today I'm going to the tournament, so I'm going to see if I could get a couple matches in, alright? Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.